Recently, heavy rains in Beijing triggered mountain torrents and landslides. The Miyun and Huairou areas were severely affected. Roads were destroyed, bridges were broken, and network signals in some villages were interrupted. This round of heavy rainfall brought the largest flood peak since the construction of the Miyun Reservoir, and the reservoir started to discharge floodwater on the 27th. Welcoming the largest flood peak since the construction of the reservoir, the Miyun Reservoir opened the gate to discharge. Beijing Youth Daily reported that this round of heavy rainfall brought the largest flood peak since the construction of the Miyun Reservoir. At 1500 on July 27th, the Miyun Reservoir started to discharge. As of 2000 on the same day, the discharge flow had increased from the initial 80 cubic meters per second to 500 cubic meters per second. Gu Tuo, deputy director of the Miyun Reservoir Management Office in Beijing, said, "At 3 a.m. on the 27th, the flood peak in the reservoir reached 6,150 cubic meters per second, which is the highest historical value since the construction of the reservoir." He said that during this heavy rainfall, the Miyun Reservoir intercepted all the upstream flood peaks, playing a key role in reducing and shifting the peak downstream. At about 1500 on the 27th, the Miyun Reservoir started to discharge water, opening the 3-hole and 4-hole gates of the third spillway, with an opening of 35 centimeters and a flow rate of 80 cubic meters per second. It is understood that the spillway has a total of 6 gates, and the first 2 to be opened were the middle gates, namely the 3-hole and 4-hole gates. Gu Tuo said that the discharge volume gradually increased. Starting at 1600, the outflow of the Miyun Reservoir increased to 300 cubic meters per second, including 200 cubic meters per second from the Cheohe third spillway and 100 cubic meters per second from the Beihai River. By 1900, the flow had increased to 500 cubic meters per second, including 380 cubic meters per second from the Cheohe third spillway and 120 cubic meters per second from the Beihai River. At the same time, all 6 gates had been opened. Next, the flow will be gradually adjusted based on the actual water inflow and river conditions, and the reservoir water level will eventually drop below the flood limit water level. Flash floods and released floodwaters from the reservoir caused serious damage in Miyun and Huairou. Miyun District issued an emergency red warning for heavy rain on the evening of the 26th. Heavy rains triggered flash floods and landslides. Some roads in Shicheng Town, Fengjiayu Town, and Bulaotun Town in Miyun were destroyed by floods. Bridges were broken, and network signals in some villages were interrupted. The video circulated on the internet showed that the floods in Banchengzi village, Bulaotun Town, were raging, and the trees on the main roads in the urban area were washed down. There was a risk of secondary landslides in the surrounding mountains. A Beijing netizen posted a video on the 27th saying, "Zhangjiafen, Shicheng Town, Miyun, suffered a flood that has not been seen in a century. The village was flooded, and the bridges and roads were washed away. I stayed up all night last night and experienced 2 window jumps and climbs. Thanks to the timely rescue by the rescue team members, I finally ran back early in the morning." The video shows that the villagers' homes were flooded, and the whole family was cleaning up the accumulated water and silt. Many sandbags were piled at the door of the house to block the flood, and the flash flood rushed past the door. Some netizens posted a video saying that the water level of the Beijing Miyun Reservoir surged and the flood washed away the bridge. "It's over, the bridge collapsed, and I can't go home." Miyun Reservoir said it would release water at 3:30, but it's only 4 o'clock, and the Cheobai River has risen by more than 2 meters. It came too fast. It's a swamp. This is the first time this year that the water level has risen so violently. The video shows that because the road was blocked, rescue workers and vehicles were stuck halfway and could not move forward. On the 27th, Beijing Radio's video account, Beijing Time, reported that the Qinglongxia Reservoir at the junction of Miyun and Huairou had begun to release floodwaters. The water was very strong. Some roads had been flooded, and many roads were blocked, hindering rescue. Many Beijing netizens criticized the improper management of the reservoir, which caused downstream residents to suffer. As long as the reservoir water level is low, the heavy rain can be stored normally. Who will be flooded by opening the gate to release water? The video posted by residents of Huairou District, Beijing, shows that the mountain torrents carried large rocks into the drainage ditch at the door of the house, and the scene was very scary. Beijing netizens lamented that Beijing has been hit by severe rainstorms and floods in recent years. Last year, it was Mentugu in the west, and this year it is Huairou and Miyun in the north. According to CCTV.com, the Beijing Meteorological Bureau issued a red warning for rainstorms. It is expected that from 20:00 on the 28th to 07:00 on the 29th, the 6-hour rainfall in most areas of Beijing will reach more than 150 mm, and some places may reach more than 300 mm. In addition, the risk of mountain torrents, mudslides, landslides, and other disasters in mountainous and shallow mountainous areas is extremely high. Low-lying areas may experience serious waterlogging. China's 5-star hotels struggle to survive, switching from street vendors to home cooking services. China's economic recession has plunged the catering industry into a difficult situation. Many star-rated hotels have resorted to street vending, competing with small businesses for customers. Furthermore, many 5-star hotels have embraced the home cooking model, intensifying competition in the sector. An article published by the mainland catering self-media platform Catering Boss Insider revealed that several 5-star hotels are also eyeing the home cooking business. A well-known 5-star hotel in Zhejiang recently launched a chef-in-home banquet package, offering 2 main types of packages: an all-inclusive banquet for 3,099 RMB and a serviced banquet for 1,800 RMB. Both packages include basic services such as tableware, a chef, and a server. The difference is that the 3,999 RMB price also includes a customized menu and ingredients, providing a one-stop service. The hotel requires reservations 5 days in advance and a 1,000 RMB deposit, with cancellations allowed up to 2 days in advance. Additionally, extra chefs or servers are charged an additional 400 RMB per person. A high-end Holiday Inn in Xi'an has also launched private chef door-to-door packages at different prices, including 1,188 yuan for an 8-person table, 2,188 yuan for a 10-person table, 2,188 yuan for a 10-person table, and 3,188 yuan for a 10-person table. The hotel provides ingredients, tableware, on-site chefs and waiters who undertake a series of tasks from pre-meal cutting, table layout, and serving meals to post-meal cleaning. The business covers birthday banquets, engagement banquets, business banquets, etc. Mid to high-end hotels in cities such as Shanghai, Chuzhou, and Nanjing have recently advertised their own private chef door-to-door services on social platforms. In recent years, China's consumption has been downgraded, and many consumers are unwilling to pay the expensive fees for hotel table reservations. The door-to-door cooking business has emerged. Professional private chef chain platforms, housekeeping platforms, and even Michelin restaurants and individual operators all want to get a piece of the pie, resulting in fierce competition in the industry. The addition of star-rated hotels is bound to further intensify the involution. Previously, mainland media reported that 5-star hotels in many provinces began to set up stalls on the streets in order to survive, selling low-priced food. China's economic downturn has already put the restaurant industry in a difficult position, and the CCP's recent alcohol ban has only exacerbated the situation. Some restaurant industry insiders told online media that many star-rated hotels are struggling, hoping that the peak season of July and August will provide some temporary relief. With the arrival of the off-season in September, A large number of hotels are expected to close. In recent times, China's economy has been in free fall. Bankruptcy filings are soaring as countless businesses collapse under mounting debt and weak demand. Unemployment is visible everywhere. From college graduates to factory workers, millions are left without work. Industrial output is shrinking, and factories across provinces are shutting down in waves. Once thriving manufacturing hubs now sit idle, with machinery silent and gates locked. Real estate, tech, finance, and even catering are all experiencing deep contractions. Nearly every sector is in decline: retail, logistics, construction, education, and healthcare. Even the once luxurious five-star hotel industry is no exception, now struggling to survive through street vending and home cooking services.